This is chapter 17, section 2. This is called, this entire passage in the text, it's on page 352 if you want to look by page number in the text, but you have to be in your text. This is talking about, this chapter is entitled Forgiveness in the Holy Relationship. This section is called The Forgiven World, where it's talking about why do we want the forgiven world? Well, you know, this workbook lesson we just did is a great emphasis on why we want that forgiven world. We want to experience a world that makes perception disappear. And that's what this says. This is the experience of it. So let me just recap. We did the first 3 paragraphs. Let me just recap a couple of lines out of each of these paragraphs to give you that feeling. The first paragraph, the first line says, "Can you imagine how beautiful those you forgive will look to you? In no fantasy have you ever seen anything so lovely." Jump down to the 5th line. "Nothing that you remember that made your heart sing with joy has ever brought you even a little part of the happiness this sight will bring you." And then jump down to the 8th line. "The Holy Spirit was created to see this for you until you learn to see it for yourself. And all his teaching leads to this seeing and giving thanks with him." So what this is saying is, when we can see through the eyes of Christ, when we allow that vision of Christ to be sent forth, the messengers that we get back are beautiful. Karen, you were saying it during that meditation. You were seeing your son and his girlfriend in your mind, and it brought such joy to you that you were in tears. How beautiful that light was. These are these glimpses that we get of reality. And that's what this is talking about. And it says the Holy Spirit does this for you until you learn to do it for yourself. So he's always holding this truth for you until you no longer need him. Can you imagine that there'll be some point when we won't need the Holy Spirit as an interpreter because we're going to get it direct? We're going to understand it. You know, it's like the training wheels will be taken off. Anybody ever have training wheels when you were growing up? You know, do you remember bike? You did it right away? Yeah. You ran. Okay. So Mark's saying, because I know you can't hear him, you're so funny. I like this. He said, he didn't need training wheels. He just ran into everything, you know. But when I was growing up, I remember having training wheels on my bike. I don't know if they do it that much anymore. You see some kids. Do your kids have it? You know, and you have it on there for just a little safety. That's kind of what the Holy Spirit is. Until we don't need our training wheels anymore. He sees the truth for us, and he gives us these beautiful visions, Karen, like you were saying. This beautiful vision that comes to you that causes you to cry. You know, these awarenesses that cause you to just almost take your breath. You know, how beautiful something is. When it's talking about how beautiful it will be, those you forgive will be when you forgive them. I've had experiences of that, of people who there's no reason why I should forgive them. They've been pretty bad. And then you close your eyes and in meditation, you get this insight, and it's like, why do I want to see them so beautiful? You know, but you see them so beautiful, and you can never lose that. And that's what the Holy Spirit gives us and holds that truth for us. And I can still see that vision in my mind of people that I have had issues with. But now every time I think about them, I don't think about the issues. I think of that beautiful vision that the Holy Spirit has given me. You see, that's what he does for us until we can do it for ourselves. That's what's so beautiful about that second to the last line there. He was created. That's his job, to see this beautiful vision for you until you learn to see it for yourself. And all his teaching leads to seeing it and giving thanks with him. That's what every one of these workbook lessons is about. That was what this lesson was tonight about. Christ is the vision I will use today. I will send out the messengers that I want returned to me. I want to see as he sees. I want to hear as he hears. I want to see the abundance that he sees instead of the limit and the lack that I focus on. That's what he's asking us to do. Then the second paragraph says, this loveliness that we experience is not a fantasy. It is the real world, bright and clean and new, with everything sparkling under the open sun. Then jump down to the fourth line in that paragraph. The bridge between that world and this. So it's saying we can get there to this beautiful awareness. And then it uses the analogy. We're not looking for a bridge out there. We're looking for a bridge in our minds, is what it's saying. This bridge, this shift between the world and this truth is so little and so easy to cross that you could not believe it is the meeting place of worlds so different. So it's saying this little shift, the bridge between this world, that world, the truth, and this, the world of illusions, is so little and so easy to cross that you could not believe it is the meeting place of worlds so different. And see what that says is, from one moment we can see with such anger and justified fear, and the next moment we can see and share vision with Christ. That's how quickly it can take place. That's how beautiful the shift can take place. And really, that was the message of Christ. That was the message of Jesus, how beautifully he could bring peace in a moment to a world of conflict. That was what was so powerful. It says, yet this little bridge is the strongest thing that touches on this world at all. And so again, I want us to think about that, this shift, the power of the Holy Spirit's vision in our lives is so little, this little willingness the Course always talks about, and yet it is so powerful. This shift is not a big, takes me years and years to get there. It's not a PhD program. You know, it's a small shift in perception. That's what it's saying. It's the messengers I decide today to send out to receive back. This little step, so small, because it is so small, think about that, it has escaped your notice. The little things are the things that escape our notice all the time, and they are the ones that make all the difference. Is a stride through time into eternity, beyond all ugliness, into the beauty that will enchant you and will never cease to cause you wonderment at its perfection.